One of the last initiatives that we did recently is, I don't know if you read about the issues in Immokalee, Florida with the agricultural workers. It was in Gourmet magazine about a year ago. There was actual slavery going on in Immokalee, Florida, of agricultural workers, undocumented workers, being chained up in trailers. Once they got there and realized they weren't getting paid the way they should, the hours were unbelievable, the conditions were bad, and they wanted to go back to Mexico, or where they came from, and they threatened their families because the coyotes wouldn't let them go. Long story, there was actual child labor issues, sexual discrimination, there was beatings of people and so forth. So I went there with a chef and a reporter from the Washington Post, one of our chefs that spoke the language. And I was there 3 days, and I had to sneak in the fields underneath the barbed wire to be able to talk to the workers. When I first got there, they didn't want to talk to me, but hopefully with this chef I had who spoke their language, we started to gain some trust. And as we gained trust, they also let us in the evening into their homes, so-called homes, where there's 5 or 6 families all pushed together, to tell us the stories and the issues. When I heard that, I spent 2 days with them. The third day, I went to all the growers, the large growers, and these are large companies in Florida, in Immokalee, and said, I'm going to create a code of conduct with the workers, and I expect you to sign this code of conduct so that these issues will go away. And if you don't do that, I'm going to boycott the tomatoes. And I called McDonald's, I called Chipotle, I called Whole Foods, because they buy Taco Bell, they buy a lot of tomatoes. None of them would follow me. So I said, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway. So the growers basically said, we're sorry, we're not signing this code of conduct. So we did, as a company, boycott tomatoes. From the Midwest, where I was getting these, to the East Coast, all of those locations did not get tomatoes for over 4 months that winter. Eventually, Whole Foods, the president is a very good friend of mine, followed us and did the same thing, and Steve Ells from Chipotle, right here in Colorado, also did the same thing. And we now have a code of conduct where all the growers have now followed. McDonald's is on the game, Taco Bell and so forth. So it was a great story. We've done some really good things. So we now are starting to assess that and audit every location for all of our farm to fork suppliers to make sure that there's no issues as we go forward.